Okay, we're going to continue talking about nouns. After that, at the end of this video, I will say a bit about adjectives and a bit about adverbs. Alright, so we've got our 4 rules so far. Let me just add a quick 5th one, quite an easy one. Nouns after preposition. So if you see a preposition and then the gap, it means it's going to be a noun. I'll just give you a quick example of that. Preposition there, noun there. Preposition there, noun there. Preposition, preposition. So it's not only prepositions. I mean, you can have something like that to produce, and that's also a noun. But if you see a preposition, then you know there's going to be a noun there. All right, quick, easy rule. Now let's move on to something more substantial. Sometimes you get words before a noun, and that means that noun must be a plural, must have an S. For example, certain, various, a range of, many, of course, a lot of, no, not a lot of, be careful, a lot of can be uncountable, a few. Let me just show you some examples. Right, here's our flying tortoises, and number 12 was introduced by the word various. If you see various before a word, that means that must be plural countable. You can't have various water, various coffee. Can't have uncountables there. You can't have various dog. Can't be single. Only plural countable. One more example. This is bring back the big cats, Cambridge 12. And in number 20 they had certain. So you can't have certain and uncountable or certain and countable. It must be a plural countable noun. Alright, so various and certain. There are many others. You do need to be careful because some of these things, these modifiers that introduce a noun or describe a noun, you can use them with uncountable as well. So use these. Here's a couple more. Numerous, different is another one. If you find one and you aren't sure whether it can be used with uncountable or only with plurals, then ask me in the comments and I'll answer very quickly. Right, great. Next rule. And this is probably the most important rule from this section, from this video. Look at the words around the noun. Very often you can see it's not really grammar, it's not really a rule of grammar, it's more just like common sense. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. In History of Glass, look at that one over there. This is the whole noun phrase, the sharp points of their something. Now this is a plural countable, this is plural countable, so it probably means that that's going to be plural countable. Grammatically, not necessarily. It's possible to put uncountable there. But all of these people had something, many things which had sharp points, so it has to be countable. Again, this is not hard rules of grammar. It's just if you practice this and develop a feeling for what should be countable, what shouldn't, what should be plural, what shouldn't. Again, if we go back to the tortoise one, the ships were used by. So the ships, plural, were used by. Was it used by one person? It's doubtful. It's possible, grammatically it's possible, but common sense says that this is going to be a plural countable. Probably this one as well. The tortoises were hunted by. Was it hunted by one thing or many things? Probably many things. On islands. And again, this one is slightly different. It is this apostrophe. This means this is a plural word. And something belongs to the tortoises. It belongs to all of the tortoises. So it's not going to be one thing. It could be uncountable, but it's probably going to be plural countable. Again, this is not grammar. This is more just get a feeling for it. In UK companies, the last one, you must accept the views of, probably some kind of, this is opinions of, and that's going to be people, countable. So you will want an S there. Okay, there are many examples that I can show you. I don't want to take too much time, but look at the other words around the noun really, and just think about it. Use your common sense. Right, next rule, not so much a rule, again, just looking at the meaning and trying to guess what what type of word you're looking for. This is not grammar. Not when you're looking for people. It just helps you a little bit to narrow things down. For example, let's go back to tortoise. The ships were used by. Now, only people use ships. Animals don't use ships. You can put an animal on a ship, but the animal doesn't use the ship. So this must be people. Be careful though. Hunted by. In this case it was people, but remember animals can also hunt. In history of glass, this one over here, only something knew how to make glass. So animals don't know how to make glass, trees don't know how to make glass. It must be some kind of people that you're looking for here. And in the what's the purpose of gaining knowledge? They will become. So they is the undergraduates. So they will become, and then, well, this is not people, that's a name of a job, but it will be a plural countable, and it will be the name of some kind of job, but it's a type of person, like doctors or engineers or something like that. Plural countable again. Alright, so that's pretty much everything I've got to say about nouns. Let's move on to a little bit about adjectives and adverbs. Okay, let's talk about adjectives. It's not very common that the answer is an adjective, but it does happen, and remember, every single mark counts, so you want to recognize them when they come up. Now, the grammar rules are that there are two basic uses for adjectives. One is before a noun, and the other is after the verb to be. So, for example, let's just do an easy example. You can say a big tree, or you can say the tree is big. And that's all you really need to know. Let's look at some examples just to show you. Here is cork. If you want, take a look and see if you can spot the three adjectives in this. Pause the video, see if you can find the three adjectives. I'll start with this one. Of course, we have the word a and a noun over there, so that must be an adjective. And the other two are there. There is our verb to be, and there is an adjective. So notice you don't have to have a noun here, you can have nothing here. The adjective can stand alone there. Some more examples. This was collecting as a hobby. Maybe pause the video, see if you can spot the adjectives. Right, this one didn't have anything before a noun, but it had to after the verb to be. That one there is the verb to be. Notice we can put an adverb in there if we want. And the other one is, there's the verb to be. It was just the word be because there is a modal verb there, adjective. Alright, one more example. This was the reading 3 in the last test of Cambridge 12. And again, pause the video, see if you can spot the adjective. There is our noun over there, so this is adjective before a noun. It's nice when you see an adjective because usually there aren't that many adjectives in the sentence, so you don't have many choices. Alright, I'll actually do one with you and show you the actual answer from one of these other tests. We saw this in part 1 of this grammar course, Secrets of the Swarm. So can you see the adjective? And that's it over there. There is our noun. So that must be an adjective. We were in this honeybees paragraph. Let's look. A final choice and process. It was a process paragraph, so we were actually in this sentence over there. This is the choice, the decision. The process was there. So can you see the adjective? There it is over there. So democratic was the answer. So yes, it's nice when you can spot the adjectives because it tends to be a lot easier than nouns because there are usually less of them. Great, so that's adjectives. Then the last thing just quickly to talk about is adverbs. All I want to say about adverbs is after an adverb you can have an adjective or a verb. So that's all you need to know. If you see an adverb in the questions, after the adverb, there's a gap after the adverb, you're either going to have an adjective, that should be an adjective, or a verb. quite simple and very, really it doesn't happen often. But let's look at cork again. We had an adverb over there. That means this must be either a verb or a adjective. But actually what is happening here is that they've left out a word that should be, if they were doing it in full English, that would be are easily and then your adjective. So it's actually adjective after to be as well. And then the same thing happened here in collecting. There's the adverb, but as I said before, this was an adjective because adjective after the verb to be. Right, and that's all for that. I'll just do a little bit more here. This slightly more advanced grammar. It's not only the verb to be. It can be some other verbs, but very few. All you really need to remember maybe is after become as well. I become hungry, I become angry, or feel. I feel hungry. I feel hungry, I feel angry. But really, most of the time it's going to be after to be. Great, that's all the grammar that you need for gap fills. One last thing, if you want some good practice with this, especially with the plurals thing, go to this reading. This is in Cambridge 11, Test 1, Passage 2. And go and do there's a nice diagram there. And there's quite a few of these. The grammar will help you. So see if you can find which ones. All right, great.